What's going on, everybody? Brian Mays here at the Smile Space, here with my boy Chef Beanz, also my fraternity brother. But yeah, so Chef Beanz, who is Chef Beanz?
Chef Beanz is someone who created something called intentional consumption, which helps people to be intentional not only what you physically consume, but the content you consume, the conversations you have, and the energy that you ingest, because to me, that's just as important. A lot of times people talk about dieting and different consumption on the physical end, but they're not always intentional with the people that they surround themselves with or the energy that they put out. So that's what my goal is, to help people be intentional with all things that you consume.
Okay. So what does being intentional mean for you? What does that look like in your personal day-to-day?
So being intentional means starting the day and operating throughout the day with certain goals, whether they're like overt or covert. For example, I noticed that I didn't have any routines. Like some days I would just kind of wake up and kind of let the day pass by as it passes by. Yeah. But now I have certain routines to where I have my morning affirmation. I have my time where I read. I have my time where I do my physical exercises. So though I'm still at the beginning stages of these routines, I understand how important it is to intentionally add value to yourself, because I understand with value, that's how you attract everything that's already yours.
Definitely. Yeah, man, I've been, I follow your stories and I see you're pretty consistent, every day. I think I got your routine down. I see the morning affirmations, you take a jog, you do the push-ups, the pull-ups. What, in terms of you putting that out there, was there any intention behind you putting that out there?
Absolutely. So I believe a lot of people don't always have the healthiest relationships with themselves. Yeah. So when it comes to that, I have fun with the workout, with the R&B's workout, put certain music in the background, that kind of catchy music so people can bop to it, but they also see that I'm having fun with myself. And even the morning affirmations, where I might say something like, though today you might have a lot to do, but understand that you're adding value to the world, because every day and every way you're getting better and better. A lot of times talking to yourself can seem crazy, or people are like, oh, what does that even do for you? Not knowing that like those outward projections are what attract things that you truly want to manifest. So inadvertently, I'm showing people what it looks like to have a healthy relationship with yourself, with the intention of people implementing these healthier traits in their lives as well.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I do affirmations myself. Not something I broadcast, because I don't know if I'm personally ready for that level of vulnerability. For you, what is your approach to being vulnerable in front of a camera? Because I've seen you do this with some of your content. What is that like for you?
So my approach when it comes to being vulnerable, at first it was very challenging for me, because we know with social media, a lot of times people always put up their best versions of themselves because it's a highlight reel. You don't want to show the struggle. But the first time I accidentally posted something, like a section of my social media, which I call "A Change Is Going to Come," I got a lot of great feedback from it. Like, wow, like I thought I was the only one in the world who experienced something like that. So I started to do more and more with these like vlog videos, understanding that my healing and my growth is also helping other people heal. And to understand that most people don't even know themselves. You know what I mean? Like people only put out things that they feel like people want to see. But I'm like, if I can be my most authentic self 24/7, I don't ever have to act. I don't ever have to remember this old perception or this false perception of myself. And I'm always 100% genuine in myself.
That's real. That's definitely a good perspective. So, and speaking about learning yourself, I'll ask you, during right now with everything going on, there's definitely been some things that I've learned about myself in terms of like how I operate and, and being limited in certain areas. What have you learned about yourself in this process of being in quarantine and going through the challenges related to COVID?
Well, surprisingly, I already felt pretty isolated prior to the quarantine because I'm 3,000 miles away from home. And a lot of times it does get lonely, it does get stressful. So I wasn't a stranger to like this isolation, but also I realized that I just saw a lot of people crumbling under this time, which rightfully so is very like a scary time.
Yeah.
But I feel as though I emerged because I feel like I've been in training camp for this type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, who are you as far as adversity to tell me when I'm going to be effective or when I should put things on pause or when I should slow down on certain things?
Yeah.
I've just gotten really good at adapting. So I've used this time of quote unquote isolation / quarantine to still put out things when I said I was going to put them out, or put things out earlier, and just learning to just give the people what they need, because intentional consumption doesn't have a time limit on it. You can't press pause on it. You always have to be intentional with giving your mind, body, soul everything that it needs.
Okay, I like that. So what are you consuming on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day basis, I read at least 20 pages every morning.
What are you reading right now?
Right now, The Diamond Cutter.
Okay.
The Diamond Cutter, which talks about that there's potential in everything.
Yeah.
So I'm still getting into it, but I just got done with The Go Giver. It's like certain books that I'm intentionally reading to add value to myself. But other than that, consuming on a daily basis, I'm getting better on the physical tip as far as like nutrition.
Yeah.
I'm not the best with that yet, but also it's certain music that I listen to that makes me feel good, and me pouring into myself as far as understanding that I'm a writer. So I write more than anything, but I feel as though my storytelling ability is one of my best traits. So the more and more I tap into that, that's the self-love that I need to help me vibrate higher every day.
Okay. All right. So what going back to nutrition, right? I gotta ask, where did the Chef Beanz come from? The hat, the whole what was the inspiration behind that? So
like you said earlier, we're in the same fraternity, and bruhs wear whatever at cookouts.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't have Nelia one day, and there was a bruh vendor, and all he had left was a chef hat.
Okay.
So I'm like, yo, dog, like, what's up? Like, he set me out with the chef hat. I put it on, and my nickname was Q Beanz most of my life, at least since high school.
Yeah.
So once I started wearing the chef hat, bruh started calling me Chef Beanz.
Okay.
So it's just like a nickname, had the chef hat. Then eventually I got like an apron that says Chef Beanz on it with the shield on it.
Okay.
Taking it from there, and then in 2017, my apartment actually caught on fire in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
So the chef hat, I lost the apron, but I never lost my creativity.
Yeah.
So then I reinvested into this black hat. I'm like, okay, let me use, instead of me just wearing this hat as, recreational use, how can I monetize this?
Yeah.
Everything that I do is a metaphor to the things that I cook up / create.
Yeah.
So why not just take this Chef Beanz thing to the next level? So I kept chopping away at this idea that started off as just something someone gave me at a cookout to no, everything that you create is something that you cook. So if you're going to be Chef Beanz, you got to be Chef Beanz all the time.
I like that. So
that's how it came about, though.
All right. That's what's up. So right now, what are you finding, right? We talk about getting to know ourselves,
right.
Being intentional on a day-to-day. What are some of the things that you're personally focused on in terms of your personal growth right now?
Well, I was actually having this conversation with myself earlier. I feel like when I came out here, my intention was to just solely monetize my creativity / just have full confidence in my content, but not having a full depiction of it. But now I'm solely focused on how can I bring more value to more people, like how can I serve through my work.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm mainly focused on. Like, okay, it started off very small, or even using like my Be Intentional shirts, for example. I only wanted to sell like 100 initially.
Yeah.
And that happened fast. So now I was like, okay, like don't shrink yourself at all.
Yeah.
So that was one of my affirmations going into 2020. Don't shrink yourself. So just having larger goals and with the intention of how can I serve and bring more value to people. That's like my intention with everything that I do.
I like that. So when we get to restock your shirts, man, I've been trying to get a green one. What's going on?
No, the restock is coming actually next week.
Next week.
Yeah, that large is trust me, that large is already yours.
Okay, all right, bet. So what's the website so people can check it out?
The website is www.chefbeanz.com with a Z. www.chefbeanz.com on all social media platforms at chef_beanz, but that's with a Z.
All right. Cool. You also got the mask too, right?
Yeah, and just got these new Be Intentional masks that came in, shipping out same day. So if you're looking to, save yourself and help yourself be more aware on others, cop up. They're available over at Chef Beanz Cafe.
All right, cool. So all right, so you got the mask, right? You're doing the shirts, doing some merch, you're creating content. Where is all this building to, and what does all of this, all these things that you're building look like in 5 years, 10 years?
Right. So all of these things are building to, like I said, me monetizing my creativity to where I can do this full time.
Yeah.
But also I want to create movies. I want to open up a community center in Camden, New Jersey, my hometown.
Sure.
And that's solely like where I'm at, just living a life based off of the things that I create. I do want to open up Chef Beanz Cafe within the next 5 years, which isn't solely just going to be a spot where people can come to eat at, but also a safe space for people to read, get work done, and different things like that. So that's where my next 5 year plan, my 5 year plan looks like. But ultimately, I want to be a servant and help people to get to know themselves in every aspect so that they don't have to live life with strings.
Yeah.
Strings on their arms. Like, no, you can command the life that you want to live. You just have to have the confidence to do it. But how do you have the confidence? That starts with you getting to know yourself.
That's real. That's real. So with your, you coming from Jersey, you've been in California how long now?
I've been in California since October 2018.
Okay, and what's been the most difficult part of that transition for you?
The most difficult part is having this angelic spirit, being very jovial, but sometimes interacting with people and not knowing if something's attached to what they're saying. You know, like whether it's like them being passive aggressive or just not solely always knowing how to read people, but I've learned to just go into certain things without these expectations or attachments to kind of get what I'm supposed to get from the conversation, and if people follow up, cool, so be it. If not, I'm going to be blessed regardless. That's one aspect. Also, to have certain family events back home that I can't attend, whether it's a graduation or a baby shower, seeing that from a distance through social media can be very heavy for me sometimes, but understanding my overarching objective, which is to create generational wealth, which is to fail my way forward so I can pass that knowledge to the younger generation. It's the certain things that keep me afloat, and at the beginning financially, that was stomping me out with jobs not falling through and me having to basically keep my head up above water in every aspect. But now I got a pretty good grip on things going on. So like I said, I have my morning affirmation that helps me kickstart my day, and I just take everything else from there.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big difference from East Coast to West Coast. I know when I first went to New York, you know, it was definitely a lot different in terms of how people interact with each other. I think on the East Coast, people are a lot more receptive to like talking to complete strangers, but you know, people are pretty straightforward out there. And I think that was something that was initially kind of abrasive for me, but I actually grew to appreciate just that straightforwardness that people would give you out there.
There's no grays. It's kind of like, this is what it is, and I'm going to tell you this on the initial interaction.
Exactly. What's your favorite part of being on the West Coast?
My favorite part of being on the West Coast has to be, there's a couple of things. One, the weather, of course. Like the weather's always pretty good, but every time I see a palm tree is a reflection of me taking a chance on myself, because there's no palm trees in Jersey. That's real. And I had to kind of tell myself, like, you're going to chuck this shot across West, but understand that you're going to land on your feet when you're supposed to. So every time I look up in the sky, whether I'm seeing a Hollywood sign, palm trees, or just like the beaches, like, this is a reflection of you having the courage of being courageous. So I'm proud of you. I tell myself I'm proud of you all the time, and that's what keeps me going each time.
All right, I like that. So, in wrapping up, anything that you would want to impart to the people?
Yes. So, on top of me being Chef Beanz, like I said, everything that I create is a reflection of things that I cook up. But I also have a series called Transparency, which is helping people to be more transparent when it comes to dating, as opposed to giving whatever version of yourself that you want. I'm about to launch or release a book next month. Can't tell you the title yet, but that's coming up. But also to just understand that whatever's for you won't miss you, and like his shirt says, it's already yours. So understand that it's already yours. You just have to believe it, and also don't be afraid to take that step to go and to get it.
All right, solid, my man.